you have a conversation with a human being, put aside the gender, the things that identify us, put aside everything, and you are just talking to a person who's just existing on this earth. Fair, you gotta pay your bills, we got responsibilities to keep on about, but at the end of the day, you are a person, right? We are people, and we need to speak to that part of ourselves. So you find that someone is unable to do that and carry forward that feeling, it becomes a bit hard to just see men and be like, oh my god, am I gonna sleep with him? No, I can't. I just can't. There's so much sadness because you're speaking to a person. You can just tell me like, oh yeah, man, I rotate them. Okay. Oh, I'm a man, you don't know what I'm capable of. You see these men you look up to, they're nothing compared to me. Okay. And this, I'm stronger. Why are you should only be looking. Okay. Why are you feeling that way? Why are you feeling your worth tied to my appreciation of you? And that just came to a whole entire different understanding of how our men's appreciation of women is what we bring to the table. But at the same time, we hold the same standards to them. I want to know, why is that your first thought? Why is that your first reaction? Why is it something that puts you down? Like, I can understand sadness, right? But it puts you down and you hold that down. You're like, I cannot show this side of me ever again because I did and this person reacted this kind of a way. I don't know, man. There's something we need to understand there. And I'm not talking about men suck, men all trash in the sense that they are cheaters and everything else. I'm not disagreeing or disapproving or excusing anything. I'm just simply saying, okay, sharp, that's happening. But what about this thing that seems to be connected to that thing over there? That's interesting. Let's talk about both of them. Let's make men be aware that showing a sense of vulnerability is not a weakness. And you need to show it in a way that makes sense to you, not in a way that can be a mimic of what a woman is like when she's expressing herself. Express yourself. Just speak honestly. And I swear to you, the gender parts, the differences, it becomes very different. And you become to understand, damn, we want the same thing. You want someone to protect, I want someone to protect me. Against what? Lord knows. There's so many things happening in this world. Once upon a time, we were running away from those tigers. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. We had to survive. We had to be a pair. We had to connect. This community propaganda. You go into the darkness. You follow it. But there's a sense of connection, and there's no connection between men and women because, again, experiencing the same thing from a different point of view, there are no people who argue more than the people that agree with one another. When you are in understanding and you are in unison of the fact that, oh no, I get it, shit fades. Because you are driven deeper. Let's drive deeper. I am talking nonsense now, but that book made me absolutely sad. I wanted to extend my curiosity on men. I've always had a very deep curiosity with men. I've dated them not in a sense that I want to, oh my god, have a dream wedding and all that kind of stuff, though it would be great, but to just understand, because it was something that I wasn't, and it seemed to be very clear that it was something that I wasn't, and it made itself known. So I was like, why? How are you raised? What's different about you? What are you learning when I'm learning this thing? Because they separated us. They put us here. I learned about period and bloods and whatever. What did you learn? Because when it comes to me, there's nothing you understand about me. But when it comes to you, there's so much I know. So what were you learning in that time? Because we had to be doing something. And that is not to say, oh my gosh, you should have been doing what I was doing. No, that is to say, what were you doing? There's nothing more to it. We need to stop reading into things more than they seemingly are sometimes. There's a filter in the shit. Oh my god, no wonder. I was like, since just find my skin that clear, but I'm glad to know everything is still on track. Read some books, get some new perspectives. I am late to the gym because I'm talking to my cell phone. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to. Because you guys keep conjuring relationships with other men and belittling women and treating them like this. And the men that you are conjuring these deep relationships with, they don't give a shit about you. And then here comes a woman who naturally will want to come in and make you feel okay. She will ask you, how are you doing? Let's talk. Let me talk to you. Let's discuss. Because again, realistically, when you're looking at it, male suicide rates is very much at a high. So you want to be sort of an extension of peace to men. Then you see shit like that and you're like, no, fuck them. Fuck them. And I hope that every lady you meet wants your money. She wants you to eat your money. Because what do you mean? What do you mean me being kind to you, me wanting you to be well, me checking up on you, me being your partner makes you want to unalive yourself? What? Break up with me then. What's going on? Go to your homies. Are you gay? Do you hate women or do you just hate this woman? What? No, man. In South Africa, where men are murdering women at such a large rate, you are then promoting the hatred of women in partnership. And it's not like men are just going into women's houses and killing them. No, it's their partners, their boyfriends, their husband. Because he grows hateful of her, but instead of divorcing, breaking up, leaving, he kills her. That's not an interesting story you're talking about. That just communicates to me that whenever I text you, I call you, I try to talk to you, you tell me you're busy, you tell me, oh, you can't, you're not consistent with your behavior. I'm leaving. And I'm not leaving because, not only because of your inconsistency, because that's the first step. It just becomes clear to me. That's the first step. That's there. Next thing you're gonna start throwing things. Next thing I am next. We are arguing. You're making up arguments. You get heated up because at the end of the day you already hate me. So what's stopping you from expressing your anger, expressing your violence, which is so flipping crazy? Because I was wondering, does society breed violent men? Where did they learn this behavior from? Break up with her, bruv. If you are so high valued and you are so important, you can get any chick and you can hate as much, go get another one. Leave. You know your value. Go get the woman who you think you deserve. You don't want women. You don't want a female in your presence. Maybe it's your jealousy. Maybe you're jealous. You want to be a girl deep down. You want to be what your male friends are attracted to. Sadly, you are not that. Therefore, you are hating on women. What's going on, babes? What's this? In this violent country, you're perpetuating violence yourself. As a young gent, even in this time, you're seeing the suicide rates, not the suicide, the gender-based violence in this country. You're proud. You are liking, you are prouding, you are commenting, you are leaving your name there, you are part of the crew. And then Mabati, no man, men are just trash. You're like, not all men. What they'll say, you are on Twitter liking, reposting, commenting under, promoting, getting more interactions, huh? See how it doesn't add up. When we say that men do not care about women, and you say not all men, no. They're not all men. The men that say not all men should have come into the comments and corrected that behavior. Like, gents, I get it. You can grow to a better person, but leave the relationship. Because not only if there was no gender-based violence and there was no intentional killing towards women and children, people who have less power compared to men, and that behavior come about, sharp, cool. Like an Indian man calling me a nigger, fine, bruv, okay. You're a bit twisted, but sharp. But if a white man were to, given the context, the historical context that the white man and I share, when he calls me an N-word, I feel offended. Right? There's context, there's history, there's evidence that the way that you are addressing me, it's not welcomed. So you saying shit like, oh my god, mama just dating your girlfriend, it's not hitting me in a way of like, oh man, that's crazy. You know, like when you don't like your English class or some shit, and you wanna tell your teacher, man, I don't like this, but you keep quiet, you endure it until high school. Sharp, I could get that. But you are talking about a group of people that are collectively being murdered by their partners, and you're talking about the hate that you have for them and how you are willing to stay in there. How does that feel good for you? Okay, fine, let's put the woman aside. You hate her, you're still with her. Why do you hate yourself then? If you hate her, you're still there. You hate yourself. Your hatred of her is a reflection of your feelings towards yourself. She's just an embodiment of that. If you think she's a bitch and you hate her, you're a bitch. Why are you hating her? If she reflects nothing to do with you, why are you hating her? You have issues, my guy. Go to your buddy friends and sit down and discuss. I need you don't want a woman. There's a lot of anger there, but go to your mans. And we don't want to be hearing, oh man, women and this. Nah, fuck that. And also to women, I think it's time now we started getting closer, because men understand that women will always find each other as the competitors. Again, that is how we are raised. We are taught to see ourselves and people that we are around, especially women, as competitors. We're competing for men. He must look at me before he looks at you. My ass needs to be bigger and better than yours, so he looks at me, not you. That's what we're raised on, to take care, to provide, not provide, to nurture, to be there, to be a sexual object to some extent, to be a thing for men. That's what patriarchy has taught us. We don't know femininity prior to patriarchy. You cannot say we know who women. No, we don't. We have ideas. We have romanticized scriptures of women before, right? But we don't know what women are. Outside of that, we don't know what men are either. We can calculate, but we don't know. We've never seen it. So we need to now redefine what being a man is, what being a woman is, and what those two relationships mean towards it, next to each other. So men see that. They see the disconnect between men and women, that between women. They use it. Do you see how close men are? Do you see how easy it is for him to throw you under the bus for his homies who does nothing for him? Doesn't even provide him a space to cry comfortably, to talk about his issues, to plan for his future, to set goals for himself. Nah, they talk about drinks, girls, cars, Lord knows what, and one day being successful. Nobody's being like, okay, let's actually put it into plan. Except the woman. She comes in, she's like, we have ideas, you're so ambitious, I find that attractive. Let's see you achieve those things. Then he's like, nah, I fucking hate my girl, bro. I fucking hate my girl. And you're like, okay, my dude, what's going on? How are you? How's home life? Who's your parental figure? But then again, given history and what men had to learn to treat women in South Africa, apartheid South Africa, and we're just 30 years after apartheid South Africa, those ideas are still involved in people's mind. They're still there. We still hold the ideas the white man had towards the black woman's body. Therefore, we take it for granted. What? No, as a woman, I need to start feeling and continue to make other women feel that a man being with you in this daytime is a privilege. And you should not think of it like, oh my gosh, I'm the cat. Nah. You are allowing his musty, dusty lack of space of self-expression to be in your presence so that he can heal himself. He should be grateful. You should be grateful. Fucking hell, you're talking about in this country of men killing women? Nah, man. But anyways, misogyny, be who you are. It's acceptable to be gay these days. Just tell us you don't want women. It's okay. It's fine. If you want your mother, it's fine. Okay? Trust me, you are too young to be having life crisis problems. That is not to say that you have not lived life long enough for you to have your own issues. No. It's just that when you're young, you think the problems that you have are actual problems. You get so enveloped in them. But the reality of thing is no. Trust me, someone talking bad about you, someone not liking your outfit, someone calling you fat during your high school years or primary school, not compared to the internal struggles you're gonna have when it comes to you trying to reach your own success. I am telling you, while trying to also at the same time maintain friendships of people who want you to remain as you were once before, and you're trying to elevate from that. That shit will have you having life crisis. You don't hate them. You don't want to leave them behind. But given how they think and your plans for the future for yourselves, it doesn't correlate. Someone has to go. You have to go. You have to let go somehow. That shit will eat you up. And not just that, but the internal struggles of you having to figure shit out. So spend your youth, your time in your younger days reading, get into psychology, understand human behavior, understand your human behavior, and work. Do the things that are needed for you to do. Shit is about to get real, and not in a real way that is like, oh my god, people, what now? If you want to do something different with yourself, if you want to be successful, if you want to succeed, be at peace, conjure proper, good relationships, shit is about to get real. You will be challenged. The people you love will reflect things you hate about yourself, things you have not accepted, things you need to accept, things you need to let go. So if you think that you have life crisis at a young age, I get that. But spend time preparing for your adulthood. Adulthood is like it's like being in a group of friends who are like, if you don't behave like us, we're gonna talk shit about you and we're gonna throw you to the wolves. You're gonna be our punching bag, sort of. And if you care, that's gonna affect you very badly. And if you don't care, you become an even brighter target. You just have to embrace that shit. I'm not saying that this should not happen to anybody. It needs to happen to everybody. It's a challenging thing. It builds character. If at the end of it you are still, you end up conforming to following the masses, the crowd, that's your choice. That's then your choice. So in your young life, instead of stressing about all these things that you don't know about being an adult and wishing to be a grown-up soon enough, spend that time working on being an individual. Be proud of who you are, where you stand, and where you're going. Collect a group of people that want to be in your life, that want you to succeed, that you want to see successful, and go forward. And go see the clubs, the alcohol, not going anywhere. The boys or the girls, not going anywhere. Trust me, they're not. You might not get them the way you once got them when you were much younger and much vibrant, but they are there. They will always be there. There's always someone who finds you. There's always someone who wants to fuck you if it's all about that. Focus on yourself, my sister. And by that I mean focus on building proper relationships with both men and women, young and old. Learn. But honestly, I don't understand how people can go and look for. Then again, I have a very good relationship with people who are way older than me, and I've learned a lot from them because they've taken me under their wing in some sort of a way. Kodwa phila mntanami, usasemncane, you are still so young. Leave. You are young. Please. You are not going to be that young again. Trust me, never. Do the best that you can. Equip yourself for the future, not for others, for your future. You when I need it. Trust me. I worry about the youth. I stress about the youth. Mainly because I have so many siblings who are younger than me, and that sometimes I know I cannot be the pillar that they need. They need to go through what they're going through on their own. Not on their own per se, but they have to figure it out on their own. I can just be there and be like, oh man, You can do it though. I trust in you. I believe in you. But you have to do it on your own because it builds character. Your suffering, your unhappy days, your people suck is what builds your character. So, if you find yourself in situations where you are extraordinarily uncomfortable, your being, who you are, is challenged, and you feel that you need to let go of your own ideals and submit and commit, go learn about Sigmund Freud's nephew and his work in psychology and talking about how to propaganda shit. Tell people that they needed to be in groups. Tell people that they couldn't survive on their own so that it's easier to market shit to them. The idea of community firstly began as a way of of survival for the human species. We had to stick together, right? It made sense. But in this modern time where we are so far away from natural threats, except for STDs and flus and the general sickness, like disease of the body and so forth, we're in a time where now your sense of individuality is what's most important. You don't need to follow the community leader and his ideas. You need to have your own ideas so that when the community leader comes with his own ideas, you can challenge his ideas so that they can be as strong as they possibly can to lead the community to a better future. So I cannot interfere with canon events that are building you. Although at the end of it, you have to make a choice whether are you willing to be I'm looking at the moon right now. Are you willing to be the person that stands out and has their own ideas, then sits and contributes to the big idea people and questions the ideas when our president stands in our screen next year and tells us this is what he's going to be doing, and the others are telling us and promising us? We need not to just be like, oh my God, yes, I agree. Ask, how are you going to implement those things? Can I see your plans? Can I see your breakdown, your timeline of these plans to be executed if you were to remain president or become president? So much talks, but where exactly are you starting? Which direction are you going? Which sound are you using to emphasize your speech? To motivate your workers to keep on pushing. What's the process? What's going on? And that's with your individuality. I'm not gonna stress it enough. I am an advocate. Things that I'm interested in: understanding men, making women realize that sometimes they have to submit to the feminine energy that once kept us locked up, and for men to just talk, man, like fucking talk. You're making things last too long. Just talk about your feelings. We need to fix this shit. Say, don't know, I need to ask you 100, 300 times what's wrong. And individuality, just growth in your individual space. The choices you make in your individual space affect the community at large. If in your own space you are unable to stand up for yourself, even to yourself and your own edges and desires, what makes you think you want to stand up to issues at large? Come on now. Come on. Build that personality. Build those traits. Fight for yourself. Speak for yourself. So that you can speak for others. You can speak for what you're passionate about. I do know why I have a tub of Vaseline on my bed, but I just don't know why it's on my bed. Be better. Be better. You do better, and we can be better. You can argue that the fact that you ate rice and chickpeas last night does not affect anyone else in the world, but it does. It affects the environment. It affects the poop you want to be shitting into the toilet that goes, and all that kind of stuff. It affects your body, the energy you have. There's so many factors to certain things, to everything that we do, that ignoring those factors is a bit, what's the word? Ignorant. Even though ignorance is said to be bliss, at this point it's just painful. So wake up, realize the every choice that you make is the choices that not only create your reality, but influence the people around you as well, spoken or unspoken. Choose better, be better. All the best to the young people and the old people growing out there. All the best to all the people growing out there, continuing to grow out there, realizing there's no end to growth. Until the day I die, even my death, there will be some form of growth. So, not your mother. When now you get into relationship, these ideas that a woman should cook for you, should clean for you, should do all these things, those are roles that are placed by a mother. If you are getting into a romantic relationship with your woman,
I'm not bringing who doesn't pay the
I mean, a large number of men have that mentality in their mind that a woman should act as their mother, the mother who they can sleep with.
And they must cook like